you doing? Alright, well, my name is Charles. I know he already told you my name. I am from America. First thing I want to start out with is asking you guys, how old do you think I am?
Very fast.
19. Hands. Sorry, there's too many voices. What do you say?
19.
19? What do you say?
25.
25. What do you say?
28.
What do you say?
27.
What do you say?
25.
Okay.
29. 23.
30. 36. What do you say? It's the hard throat. Ah, throat? Yeah. Okay. Well, I am 29, but I will be 30 in 2 months. I'm 29, will be 30 in 2 months. In March. So I'm saying all that actually to make a point that it doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are, you can play with kids, you can interact with kids, you can do games with them. When I first came to China, I was very, Vera can even tell you this, I was very, I'm not going to do this with the kids, I'm not going to do this with the kids because it'll make me feel like a fool. I will feel like a child if I do this. If I play this game with this child, or if I get down with the child like this, and an important person walks through the door, an important adult, they're going to look at me as a child, and I was afraid a little bit of doing certain things. And thought if I stood up here like this, and I was just like this with all the kids, all the time, the kids would listen to me, and I would have the respect of the adults also. Foolish. Very, very bad. If you stand up here and you're just like this, you will do this. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. The kids are gonna like this all day. And then they're going to go to their parents afterwards and they're going to say, I don't like that teacher. That teacher is blah. I fall asleep in his class all the time. That teacher, I don't understand the teacher. Oh, that's what they're going to do. And the parents will then go to Vera or to some of the managers and they'll complain and say, that teacher's a bad teacher. Even if you're a good teacher. Even if I could teach children everything in the world, if I could walk up to them and teach them ABC, 1, 2, 3, everything about the world, everything about everything, but they think I'm boring and they think I don't know how to have fun with them, I taught them nothing. The kids are going to complain and I'll be fired. I'll lose my job because the parents will think I'm bad, the kids will think I'm bad, the school will think I'm bad. Even if I'm good up here, but if I don't know how to play with the kids, I'm a bad teacher of kids. So if you're not willing to get down to where the kids are, if you're not willing to play games with the children, if you say that's not for me, I'm not going to play games, somebody else plays games, but I teach, don't teach children. You might as well not be here. You might as well go somewhere else. Because if you want to teach children, you need to play games with the kids. If you want to teach children, you need to be able to get them to like you a little bit, at least a little bit. So, that was why I was asked to come, is to help you guys to understand that it's okay to be foolish. It's okay to be a little child. When I teach my kids, I don't stand up here like this the whole time like I would talk to you guys. You know, for adults, I can go up here, I can do this and this, I can like, blah, 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 blah. And you guys will listen. Like right now, you guys are listening, you guys are writing stuff down. Kids don't do that. If I do this and rah, 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 the kids are, blah, they're going to get up out of their chairs, they're going to run around like this, they're going to sit and they're going to hit their books. They're going to sit and they're going to kick each other the whole time while I think I'm telling them something. But I'm teaching them nothing. So, if I want to teach the little kids, say we're doing our letters, you know, A, right? I'll get up there, and at first, I might write on the board, and they'll say, hey, 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 ah, ah, ah. But then after a while, I'm going to run up to them, and I'm going to be like, hey, 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 ah, ah, ah. And they're going to be like, oh, hey, 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 ah, ah, ah. And then I'm going to walk up, and maybe I'll be like this, and I'll walk behind them, and I'll be like, hey, 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 ah, ah, ah. They're like, oh, hey, 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 ah, ah. You have to be willing to play games with the kids. And sometimes it doesn't mean always making them stand up and doing all sorts of things out here. Sometimes they can play the games in their seats. Sometimes it means you're the one playing the game with them. And you'll come up and you'll be like this. And you might walk up to them and be like, hey, 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 ah, ah. And they're going to look at you and they'll be like, whoa, why is the teacher so low? And you might be like this a little bit with the kids. It gets their attention. The kids are watching you. And if they're watching you, they're listening to you now. Where if I'm always up here doing this, the kids listen this much, and then they're everywhere. But if I can keep their attention on me the whole time, now they're listening. Now they want to do what I want them to do. Now they can learn. But otherwise, no learning. So that's why I was asked to come, is to get you guys to participate with the kids. As a Chinese teacher, I know a lot of times you guys are told, do not play games with the kids. Or you're told, you must stand here and let the kids play here. Their world, your world. No. If you're going to be at your school, if you're going to teach little children at all, you need to be willing to play the games. So if you come and you work for Vera at her school, you cannot be the Chinese teacher or the assistant in my class or in any foreigner's class and be the assistant that stands in the corner while the teacher plays the games. You have to play the games with us. You have to learn how to teach the games to the kids. So, I want you guys to stand up, set your stuff down, and go ahead and make a circle up here. Yeah, make a circle right up here, a circle. And I want you guys to hold hands while you make the circle. This is a very common game that I play with the kids, and it gets their attention almost immediately. Go ahead and join in. Go ahead and join in. Make a circle. Bigger circle, bigger circle. There we go. And make the circle real big. Okay. Now, this is something I play with the kids. Sometimes it's what I play at the beginning. Sometimes it's what I play with them to get their attention again if I lose it. I don't even have a name for it. You can call it the circle game if you want.
Stop it.
Oh, circle game.
Circle. Circle, like this, the shape. It's a circle. So you can just call it the circle game if you want. But I start out and I'll tell them, hands up. 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 And hands up. And then I tell them to let go of their hands. And then I say, now do what I do. Go, whoa. And go, boom, 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 boom. As a teacher, we can't just stand there and be like, okay, do this, do this, do this. If you're going to play with kids, you actually have to do it with them. You have to show them. Especially as Chinese, if you're going to teach Chinese to Chinese, they're watching you more than they're watching me. After a while, the kids will be used to me. Because I'm a foreigner, they're not going to be used to me at first. They're going to actually be afraid of me to a degree. Even if they like me, they're still a little afraid that they won't understand me, or they make me mad maybe. Maybe I'll get mad if they don't understand me. That's what a lot of the kids are thinking. They're thinking, oh, I'm afraid because of this or this. So they're watching you more than they're watching me. So if you do the game, if you play the games with the kids, now they're not afraid. And if they're not afraid of you, now they might not be afraid of me. That helps me in the class. So, don't be afraid to be foolish. Don't be afraid to be like, boom. Don't be afraid to do that, or don't think, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. The kid won't respect me. No, the kid will respect you because the kid's going to think you want to play with them. But if you stand there like this, while you're playing a game, the kid's not going to like you. The kid's going to think, I don't like that person. I like the person that gets down there and playing with me. So we'll try it one more time, the whole thing, and then we'll move on. So everyone, and then boom, 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 boom. Okay, so everyone together, ichi, 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 ichi. Ready, here we go, ready to go. Go! Like that. Okay, one more time, ready, much better. Yeah, don't hurt yourself, It's a tap. It looks like I'm hitting myself really hard, but I'm really just... It's just a tap. Don't be like, don't be like that. Because if you do that, then you're gonna walk out of the class and you're gonna have to go take medicine because you hurt yourself. So yeah, a headache, or you're gonna hurt yourself somewhere else. Don't do the things that hurt yourself, but you can do it to where it looks like you might have hurt yourself. Yeah, a little bit. Because the kids like that. The kids think it's funny when the teacher hurt themselves, or when the teacher is like, oh, because you're exaggerating. In my classes, Frank and I were talking about this a bit on the way here. I exaggerate almost everything in my classes. I make it bigger than what it really seems. The kids really like that. Now, I don't do it all the time. If you do it all the time, then the kids don't understand what's going on. After a while, they will lose interest because they're confused. But I do exaggerate the games. So, like when I do the thing, I'm doing that because the kids think it's funny and it gets them to want to play the game. So now I have their attention. And that's why I make the noise. That's why I'm like, if I just do this and go, that's what the kids will do. The kids are just going to like, and they're going to be standing there, and part of them's going to be thinking, what am I doing? But if I'm really loud, then the kids will go like, oh, I want to be loud too, like the teacher! And then they're going to have fun, and then they're going to want to learn when they go and have them go sit down. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do things like that. Don't be afraid to be silly. Okay, so anyway, that's one of the first things I do a lot of times with the kids, is I'll get them to do that, because if they're willing to be like, now they're laughing, they're having fun, now we can move on with the lesson. Another thing that we do, go ahead and hold hands again. One of the teachers actually at the school reminded me about this game. Linda and Mickey and some of the others reminded me of this. It's, I don't even remember what to call it, but basically what you tell the kids is you'll say, when I say go, we're going to go into the middle and make a small circle. And when I say go again, we're going to come back out and make a big circle again. The kids love this. It's a simple game, but they love it. So when I say go, we will run into the middle. Yeah. Don't hit each other. But get close. Get like so close you're like this. Yeah. And then come back out. Okay? So ready? Go! 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 And a lot of times I'll make noise when I'm going with them. I'll be like, whoa! Because the kids think that I'm trying not to, hit them. And like, oh no, don't. So on this next one, make some noise when you go and be like, whoa! Kind of like that, because the kids love that stuff. So ready? Go! Whoa! Go! Whoa! One more time, go! Whoa! Go! Whoa! Okay, now go ahead and drop your hands. Now go low. But stay on your feet. Okay, I tell the kids this when I really want to get their attention. If they're not listening at all during the game, or if they look kind of like, oh, I'm bored, it's the same game we play all the time, then I'll tell them to get down low. And already they're thinking, what's this? And then I'll tell them to do something. Like what I'm going to tell us to do is we're going to hop into the middle. We're going to hop into the middle and hop backwards without looking behind ourselves. And I do things like this, and I'll keep the kids' attention again. So if the game gets boring, if any game you play that interacts with the kids, if you notice that most of the kids are like, oh, Or if you hear them actually saying, "Oh, I'm so bored. I don't like this game. Boo-how, boo-how, boo-how." Then change the game. Change the game a little bit. If it's a foreign teacher that's leading in the game, tell the foreign teacher in a nice way. Don't just walk up and say, "They don't like the game." Because if you do that, the foreign teacher will be mad. The foreign teacher's going to be like, "What? You're telling me this now? I thought they loved the game." The teacher's going to try and give you all the reasons why they should play the game right now. And they're not going to be happy now. But if you come to them in a nice way and just say, "Hey, most of the kids a little bored with the game. Can we change the game a little bit?" Then the teacher will probably be like, "Oh yeah, sure, let's do that." That's where this whole thing came up with. I was playing that game of going into the middle or coming out or walking around in circles, and then all the kids were getting bored because we were doing it so much. So I changed it and told them, "Let's just get down low, and we'll do the same thing." But being down low makes the kids think it's a new game, even though it's the same game. It's just down low. I don't do it all the time, so they don't get bored with this, but I do it enough to where they're like, "Oh." So any game that you guys play can be changed a little bit. Just do it in the right way, for the right reason. And if you're working together with somebody, make sure they know. Communicate, communicate, communicate. You have to tell the other teacher you're working with what you're doing, if possible. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you won't have time to, but most of the time, if you can, talk to the other teacher. Okay, so when I say go, we're going to hop into the middle, and then we're going to hop back, okay? So ready? Go! Hop, hop, and hop, hop, hop. See, but that's what happens. That's what happens.
Yeah.
When you're playing these games, if you do fall, or if you're like, whoa, kind of like this, the kids think that's funny also. Just keep it within bounds. That's the other thing. Because I play games that tend to exaggerate and tend to be a bit more on the wild side, sometimes the kids will get a little out of control. So if that happens, if you notice that before the teacher does, or if both of you notice it, you can end the game then, and it's okay. You don't have to do everything that the game says. Like if you told the kids we're going to do this, 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 and this, but if you get to step 2 and the kids are just like, "Oh," like this, and they're hitting each other and they're kicking and fighting, you can stop at step 2. You don't have to go all the way. You can just be like, "Okay, everyone, stand up and then go sit down," and the kids will think, "Oh, that's the game. Okay, no problem." You don't have to tell them necessarily because you guys are bad and blah 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 blah. You don't have to tell them. If they're really bad, you can do that, but you don't have to tell them why. You don't have to tell them, "This is why we're doing this is why we're doing that." It's a game. You don't have to explain everything to them. You just play the game with them. So, everyone stand up. Okay, now another game that I like to play with the kids is called Walking. I know it's a game that a lot of teachers have played with their kids. I play my game a little differently though. I start out the normal way and then I move to my version. So in Walking, you do whatever the leader says to do, and you go in a circle in a certain direction. So we'll be walking, we'll be jumping. Let's see, we'll be running like this, and when you run, don't just be like, I'm running. Remember, you're doing this for kids. So you're going to be like, running. Because you do that, the kids are going to be like that. And then I do turn around, Okay, so everyone face to your right. And then when I say go, we're going to go in a circle. Okay, so ready? Go! Walking. Jump. Running. Turn around. Okay, now we're going to do it faster. If you thought that was fast, that's not fast for me. See, like I said, I'm more on the wild side. Other teachers will be a little slower. You have to figure out the teacher you're working with, how fast they go or how slow they go. Figure out a good rhythm. For me, most of my teachers will tell you, I'm a bit wild and I like to go fast. I don't like slow things most of the time. So I'm going to turn this way. We're going to go faster. Same thing though. So ready? Go! Walking, 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 walking. Jump, jump, jump. Jump, jump, jump. Running, running, running. Running, running, running. Turn around. Turn around. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes when I'm doing the whole turn around, for the kids' sake, I'll be like, whoa, whoa. Even though I'm not, there's nothing wrong with me. The kids think that's funny, and they will get their attention again. So if there's any kids that are in a group for any game you play, and it looks like they're kind of, they're not paying attention, or they're trying to talk the whole time, if you as a teacher exaggerate something in a good way, you might get their attention back again. So I'll do something funny. I'll be like, whoa, whoa. I'll make it look like I'm gonna fall or something, and all the kids pay attention then. Even the kids that normally don't want to pay attention will be like, oh look, that teacher, oh no, what's going on? And they're like, oh, it's so funny, so funny. And they'll all laugh, and now they want to play the game again. Where if I'm just kind of like, just playing the game and not paying attention to the kids, the way they look, the way they're acting, then I might lose some of the kids during the game even. So pay attention to the way the kids look. Look at their faces. Listen to what they're saying. A lot of times these kids will just tell you, I don't like this, or I'm bored with this, or this, or this. They usually say it in Chinese, so I don't understand it most of the time. But you guys will. So you guys hear that, you're just like, oh, okay. Then you, even as the assistant teacher, or as if you're the regular teacher or the assistant teacher, you can do something. If I don't understand what they're saying, but you do, you can kind of be a little funny or something. You're like, oh, and they're like, oh, look at the teacher. And now everyone wants to play again. So interactive games, they're designed to keep the kids' attention. They're designed to move the class forward in a fun way for the kids, in a fun way for you. Honestly, if you're teaching day after day the same materials every single day, or roughly the same materials all the time, to 10 and 12 different classes. I think what, 10 classes now?
10.
Yeah, I have 10 classes right now, almost 100 students. I teach the same curriculum to all my kids pretty much. I have I think 4 classes that have moved to the next level. But other than those 4 classes, I teach the same thing to all the kids. It's the same thing. The curriculum doesn't change. You can change the classroom though. You can keep it interesting. Come up with a new game. Play the game a different way. Your interactive games are what's going to save you. Because if you just teach it the same way, you play the same game the same way all the time, the kids are going to get bored, you're going to get bored. And eventually you're going to hate getting up in the morning and coming to work. You're going to be like, oh, I got to go teach kids again. Oh, I got to go teach that same thing again. Oh, I don't like my job. But if you actually have fun while you're at work, if you actually learn to play with the kids in a constructive way, where it's not just play, but it's learning and play, everyone wins. Everyone gets to do what they need to do. One more game that I was wanting to try. This is going to be a little different. It's called, it's got different names. I call it Marco Polo. There's another name, it's called Blind Man's Bluff. But I think we can try it. It's a newer game I just tried with the kids. They love it. Let me find my hat. Okay, here's how it goes. And I'll be first for this one. Okay, this is called, let's call it Marco Polo. We'll call it Marco Polo. Marco Polo is usually played in a swimming pool. Usually, somebody has to have their eyes closed. The person who's it says Marco. Everyone else says Polo as they're trying to stay away from the person, okay? The kids love this game. So I use this to keep myself blindfolded, so I can't see anything. The kids think it's an awesome idea. Wow, you're pulling your hat over your eyes. No one does that. Just by doing this, I have the attention of the kids now. We're being interactive. And then by doing this, and then I have them close their eyes underneath. And I need to breathe. And then I will be like this. I'll be like, Marco. And then you guys will say Polo. So Marco.
Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
Okay, and then as I'm saying this, you're trying to stay away from me. You don't want me to catch you.
Yeah.
Okay, if I catch you, you're it. You're the one who has the word, okay?
Yeah.
So I figured we could just try this. I'll show you how it is. And maybe we'll play like 2 rounds of this. Yeah, myself, the first round, and then somebody else can be it one more time after that, and then we'll be done with this game. Okay, so I'll say go. When I say go, try and stay in this area. Don't go over there.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you go over there, I'm gonna hit the chairs, and then I will get hurt in some way. Okay. Okay. So go, Marco. Oh, you have to say Polo.
Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
Be loud, be loud, be loud. You have to be loud when you say this. Marco.
Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
Marco. 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 Ah, Marco. 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 Okay, I got somebody. Okay. Now I give the kids an option. Because a lot of kids, they love the idea of the teacher wearing this, but they don't want to. Especially the really little kids, 4, 5, 6 years old. Most of them are still afraid of the dark. Most of them are afraid of people wearing masks. So I always tell the kids, you can either wear this over your eyes, or you can cover your eyes. Most kids will say, I want to do this. Guys and girls, most will say this, or like this. If the kids do this, then you have to be willing as a teacher to help lead them. So you actually walk behind them and you take the arms like, Marco, Polo, Marco, and you lead them to try and catch the different people. Because most kids also, even when they have this on, they're just going to stand there. They'll just say, Marco, 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 and they won't move. Especially if it's a new game. And that's the other thing with the games. Any game you teach them, especially if it's brand new, they've never seen it, never heard of it, most of the time when the kids are trying it, even after you show them, even after you explain it to them, most of the kids are going to be like, and that's what they're going to do. They're just going to stand there. And then they're going to look and be like, push it down, booming by, tingle down, tingle down. That's what they're going to say the whole time. They're like, and then if you try and make them do it, they might even be like, like that, because they're afraid that they're going to mess up. That's really one of the big things about the interactive games, not just to help the class move forward, not just to help you to not be bored with your job, for the kids to learn better, but also all these games we teach are supposed to teach the kids without us having to even tell them. It's supposed to teach them that it's okay to try new things. It's okay to try something and fail. It's okay for the kids to get up there and play this game and not get anybody. It's okay. Most of the kids are so thinking already, even at a young age. They're already thinking, I have to win, I have to win, I have to win, I have to win. If I don't win, I'm not good. If I don't win, I'm bad. My mom and my dad will be mad at me if I don't win. That's what a lot of these kids are thinking. Some of the kids have actually told me this before. They're thinking, if I don't win, I'm not a good person. But what we're teaching them at the school is that sometimes it's okay to lose. Sometimes you learn more by losing than you do by winning anyway. And it helps build your character. So we're trying to help the kids to see the whole picture, not just a part. So you're going to have your kids who win, and you can cheer them on and be like, yeah, you won. And you're going to have your kids who lose the games, and you can still cheer for them. And you can be like, yeah, it's okay, you'll do better next time, better next time. So whether they win or whether they lose, tell them you'll do better next time. And if they win, especially be like, yeah, you'll do even better next time. You're great, you're good. And they're going to be like, yeah. And they're going to go tell their parents and be all happy, and everyone's going to love your class. And even if they lose, especially if they lose, until they learn it's okay to lose, be encouraging still to them. Be like, it's okay, you'll do better next time. You're still great, you're good. And you can give them stars on the board, things like that. You can give them a sticker or something, make them feel a little better, but without taking the lesson away. Without, helping to build up. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You could still win. Your parents don't hate you because you didn't win, things like that. You're teaching them good values from these games. So anyway, all I say, would you like to wear this, or would you like to just close your eyes?
What's this?
Okay, so I'll put this over the top. And make sure you can't see. If you can still see through it, then close your eyes underneath also. And then when I say go, you'll do what I did and start walking around. You'll say Marco, and we'll say Polo. Yeah, you say Marco, we say Polo. Okay, so go!
Marco. Polo. Marco.
Polo!
Marco. Polo. Polo. Polo.
Be louder when you say Marco. Polo! I'll help you. I'm gonna help you, okay? Okay, so shake your hands out. Okay. And the kids, most of them, they love it when you help them too. You don't have to help them with every game. If you help them with every game, then you're babying them and you're not helping them learn. But games like this, where they're already a little, I don't know, that helps them. After a while, they'll start playing it without it. After a while, they'll be more sure of themselves. After a while, they'll be the ones running around like this, and you have to stop them from running into the wall because they're so excited to play. Where when they first start, they're like, but later on, they're going to be the ones that are going to be like, whoa! And you gotta actually jump in front of it. No, not this way. No, don't do this. Watch out for the board. Don't run into the window. Things like that, because they're going to be so excited now. I have some classes where as soon as I say Marco Polo, they all are standing up like, me, because they already know I'm going to ask them who wants to be it. Some classes, not so much, but other classes love this game. This is their favorite game now. So when you're playing these games with the kids, like I said, be willing to get down in there with them. Be willing to have fun with the kids. Keep watching to keep it safe. If a kid is going to run into the wall, you get in front of the kid. If they run into you, okay. If they run into the wall, very bad. So keep the kids safe. Help them to learn how to play the game, how to have fun with the game. And just be very encouraging. All this is encouraging them to learn and to have fun while learning. Because a lot of them, that's not what they're getting at the schools. A lot of them are being yelled at the whole time. You must learn this. Learn. That's not how we do it at our schools. We do it in a way to where they can have fun and learn at the same time. So encouraging them, lifting them up, making them feel like a real person. That's our job. That's what we do with these games. All right, you guys can go sit down if you want. I know that some of you guys are getting tired. I actually don't know how long I had.
You finish around 4, so you still have 45 minutes.
45 minutes? Oh, dang. Also like 3:30.
I have a nasty question. They have physically different experiences. There might be some questions that you're concerned about, because I asked them to try a demo class before. I tried a little bit, but they're pretty much sure everything, but I'm not sure they understood.
Yeah, I can tell
So
some.
their English levels are very basic. Ask your questions
Okay.
for a while, and then you
Go back to okay. I like that. Cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do now Vera had a good suggestion is I'm going to ask you guys if you have any questions, any concerns, any things that you're just not sure about when it comes to games, when it comes to classroom, things like that. You might have to explain for me.
Yeah.
Maybe communicate with you have a little hard.
Yes, I speak quickly,
Yes.
and being an English speaker, I know that I know more English than most of you guys know. For a foreign teacher, it's hard for us sometimes to speak slower and to not use so many words to speak. Like in your guys' language, you guys know what to say at the right time, right? Like you know how to say, sit in the chair, do this, do that. In my language, I know the same thing also. But I don't know your language. And some of you guys don't know mine or don't know it very well. So it's difficult for the foreign teacher to be able to explain some things to our Chinese teachers who are working with us. Because we don't know the right Chinese word to say. And sometimes we don't know even the right English word to say that you would know. Like, I know lots of words in English. Lots and lots of words that I could use to describe something. Now, describe, like to tell you about this pen. Like this pen, right? I could say, this pen is black.
Yeah.
This pen is clear.
Yeah.
This pen is not very long. It's kind of short. This part is pointed a little bit, you know, kind of ow, ow, you know, I poke it, I get hurt. This is the cap, this is the pen, I put this over, I've closed the pen. That's easy English. I could also use harder words of English. Harder words, I could say that this is opaque. I could say that it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That this is a hexagon. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is for foreign teachers who have never been to China, who have not worked with people from other languages, it's hard for us sometimes to know what words to use. Some of us foreign teachers, like myself when I first came, I was using words like hexagon, opaque. I was using these big, long words, these words that a lot of people have never heard before. And that was the way I was explaining to my teachers, I want you to do this with blah, 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 blah. And the teacher was like, but usually they wouldn't say, I don't know. Usually they're like this, but really they mean this. And I was finding out afterwards, I thought the teacher knew what I was saying. So I was like, yeah. When really, the teacher was like, no. So afterwards, I found out from Vera and from some of the other teachers who understand more English that my assistants, they did not understand me. And it was making them very, very sad. The teachers, yeah, they felt sad because they did not understand me. And because they knew I thought they understood. It made them very sad because they didn't think they could tell me I don't understand. They thought that they had to keep saying yes, 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 yes all the time. When really, all they would have had to say was no, I don't understand. So when you are working with a foreign teacher, especially one like me who speaks very fast, and who might use lots of words that you don't understand without thinking. I'm not thinking about that. I'm using words I know. It's okay to ask the teacher, can you slow down?
But if you have a class, but I don't understand what you say, how should I do?
Then what you can do, this good point. If I'm standing up here and I'm saying a lot of words to the kids, and I look at you and I'm saying, can you explain to the kids this? Or I'm saying, let's play a game, I want you to do blah, 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 blah. And you don't understand, then you can walk up to me and quietly say to me, maybe in my ear, or just kind of, just walk up and be like, hey, I don't understand this word. Can you tell me what this word means? Or you said it a little fast. I didn't really understand. Can you say it one more time? Now, that's the right way. If, though, you don't understand, and say I'm over here, I'm trying to say, let's do this and this and this, and you're standing over here, and you're thinking, I don't understand, but you're not doing anything. You're just standing there, I don't understand. It's going to make me very angry. I'll be very irritated. Because to me, what I'm thinking now is, you don't want to do what I'm trying to say we should do. Or you don't respect me. You don't respect me as a teacher. That's what I'm thinking. If you're just standing over here just going like this when I'm asking you to do something or I'm saying something, and if you're not telling me what you're thinking, if you don't come to me and say, I don't understand, I'm going to think that you just don't want to do what I'm asking to do. And foreigners, especially from America, we want to be told what something is. Like, okay, right, this is the way I understand it. In China, a lot of times, if there's a problem, you guys talk about everything around the problem. If this is the problem, you're talking about this instead. You're trying to be nice. You're doing it the nice way. You're trying to say all the nice things and all these things about the problem, but you're not telling me what the problem is. Okay? So, like communication, you don't understand me, right? A lot of times with my assistant teachers, when I first came to China, they did not understand me, but they would not tell me, I don't understand you. They would tell me, your kids are bored. Or they would say things like, I think that maybe I'll just stand over here. Or they would say, or they wouldn't say anything. Or they would say, well, the managers are talking about this. They would say all these different things instead of telling me, I don't understand you. A foreigner from America, if there's a problem, don't tell me this. Yeah, make your point. Just go straight to it. If there's a problem, if this is the problem, tell me what the problem is. And then we'll talk about the other stuff around it. But you need to tell me the problem. So if it's communication, if you don't understand me, then please, in a nice way, a polite way, come and tell me. Even in the middle of class, even if it's right in front of all the kids, in a nice way, to the side, maybe in my ear, say, I don't understand you. Or I don't know how to tell the kids this or this. And then I can be like, oh, okay. And I can stop the class, or I can slow the class down and quietly say to you, okay, well, this means this. Or I tell the kids this. And then I'll explain to you what to say. That's okay. It's not wrong. It's not bad. Most teachers, especially foreign teachers, aren't necessarily going to be, we're not going to be mad that you asked us to explain something. In fact, we'll be happy because we're going to say that you really respect us as a teacher. Number two, that you want to be my assistant or a teacher with me. You want to help me. So you respect me, you want to help me, and you want to understand. And foreign teachers, they love that. That's what we want. We want to work with you. We don't want to fight you. Or we don't want to walk into the class and you stand over in a corner not knowing what to say. We don't want that either. That's useless. If you're going to stand in the corner and do nothing for me, you might as well leave. That's what the foreign teacher's thinking. The foreign teacher's thinking if you stand over here the whole time saying, I don't understand, I don't understand, I don't understand, whether you say it out loud or whether you say it in your head, but this is all you do, you don't ask me for help, you just stand here trying to figure it out yourself, after a while I will ask you to leave. Because you're not helping me. And the kids are going to watch you the whole time. So if the kids watch you while we play games, they're also watching you while we're learning. So if, as the teacher, if you're standing over here saying to yourself in Chinese or in English, I don't understand, but you don't ask me for help, the kids will start saying that. The kids will start saying, I don't understand, I don't understand, I don't understand. And that's all they will do. I had some classes that were like that. That's all they would do. Because my assistant was not asking my help. So ask for help, ask for help. Come and ask me, and I will explain it to you. Always ask. I'm trying to speak slower. If I'm still speaking too fast, I apologize. So if you don't understand something the teacher's saying, ask. Don't be afraid to ask. It's not bad. It's good. Other questions? Other questions about anything in the class?
If you meet a new assistant in your class, and she didn't understand you, can you slow your class down?
Yes, you can. Not every class can you do that, but some classes you can slow your class down, because the teacher that's working with you, the assistant that's working with the foreigner, you guys are very important. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you can't help me help the kids to understand, which means that the class is not going to go well. We might play some fun games, but the kids won't learn anything, they won't understand anything. So, especially when I have a new assistant, now I understand. Go a little slower if you can. Some classes you can't. Some classes you have so much you need to try and cover that instead of slowing down, I will skip. I will just skip over whatever we were trying to do. I'll just say, okay, we'll do that later, but let's go to the next lesson or the next game. Something that you will understand, that I need your help with. You'll understand my words. So you can slow the class down sometimes. Sometimes you just skip it and you move on to something new. It's okay. Either way is fine. You can't do it every class though. Eventually, the assistant and the teacher need to meet with each other before class, after class, sometime, and talk and start to understand each other. The foreigner can help the teacher to learn more English. The assistant can help the foreigner to understand a bit more. The Chinese. You can teach us Chinese if we can learn it. I'll be honest, my Chinese is very low. It's very difficult for me to remember. So you can teach us Chinese if you want, but the more important thing, even more than teaching us Chinese, is to help us to understand who you are, how you think. Because if I understand you better, if I understand that if I ask you to do this, and I say it just like this, if that makes you angry inside, because some people don't like to be snapped at, and you get angry, I need to learn as the foreign teacher to, instead of being like, do it now, I can be like, I would like you to please do this. It's understanding people. If you understand me and I understand you as a person, and what I like, what I don't like, what you like, what you don't like, and how we can connect in the middle, then the class is going to go great. But if we can't connect, if you're always doing what you want to do as a teacher, and I'm always doing what I want to do as a teacher in the same classroom at the same time, all we're going to do is just fight. And the kids will know. They will look at you, and eventually they will start to fight too, with each other and with you. Whatever you do is what the kids do. So, you need to understand each other. So, even more important than teaching me Chinese, which is important, it's good for me to learn that because I can communicate better with you and you can communicate better with me. But even more important than that is to figure out who you are as a person, who all of you guys are as people. And you learn more about me or about the other foreign teachers. Learn what they like and what they don't. That will help you in how to talk to them and when to talk to them. Like me personally, I don't like it when there's a big event, like like a Christmas play or something. If there's a big Christmas play or an Easter play or like a big party or something, right? We're doing for the kids. I don't like it when I go to that and I have someone walk up to me and tell me, oh, by the way, you have to do 5 things. You have to do all this stuff right now. I like, for the big things, I like to know before I get there what I'm supposed to do. What's expected of me. Now, if there's a little bit of change, like if this is, I don't have to do anymore, or if maybe there's one more thing to do that I didn't know about, that's okay. Little changes like that within a big thing are okay because that always happens in the classroom and everywhere. You'll always be changing something. But I don't want to walk into like my classroom with an idea that we're teaching this, and then you walk up to me and say, no, we're teaching this. Because you just made a big change at the last minute. You made a big change when there should have been no changes. So, me as a person, if there's a big change, tell me one day before if you can, or even a couple hours before. If you can't tell me one day, then tell me 1 or 2 hours before. Then I'm okay with it, usually. But if you tell me right now, I'm probably going to be very mad. And I'm going to tell you, I don't like this. And I might even tell you, we're not going to do that. I might tell you that I don't care if someone told you to tell me to do it. We're not doing that because we're not ready. We're not prepared for it. That's how I am as a foreign teacher. Other foreign teachers will be okay with that. They'll be okay with any change. So that's what I mean by getting to know who the person is. If you were to work for me as my assistant, you would know, tell me before. Unless it's a little change. Other teachers, you can tell them right then. They don't care. With you guys, you're the same way. If I walk up to you in a classroom, and some of you guys, if I walk up to you and you knew that we were going to do this, but I walk up and say, no, we're not doing that, we're doing this. Some of you will be very angry. You might not tell me, but you're going to be very angry inside, and you're going to be thinking, why didn't you tell me before? You're going to be like I would be. And that class is probably going to go bad because you're mad at me. So get to know your teacher. If you get to know your teacher and you start learning some more English as well, asking them for help, the communication will get easier. I'll be able to talk to you and you'll understand what I say. And when you talk to me, I'll understand what you're saying. And even if we disagree on some things, we'll at least be able to work together and go along the same path. Instead of you go this way, I go this way, and we hope the class goes well. I don't like fighting with my teachers. It's not fun. But if it gets to that point, I'll kick the teacher out and I'll do it myself. I don't like that, So don't make it to where you have to be in that position. Know before you go into it that you need to ask some questions. Talk to your teacher. Find out about it. That'll take care of most of the communication. So I said a lot of words there. Long time to say that, but that's very, very important. Very, very, very important. That it's the number, for me it's the number one thing. Communication, being able to talk to each other. If there's not talking, if the teachers can't even talk to each other about what's going on, then how can we expect anything to get done? Or to be done well? We might do something really good this way, a little bit, but the big picture might be horrible. So it might be bad. The big picture might be bad. So instead of trying to get little tiny good, but everything else is bad, why don't we start talking to each other and we make the little goods get bigger, and bigger, and then almost the whole thing's good, with maybe a little bad here and there. That's okay, because that's gonna happen. But talk to each other. Don't be afraid to talk. Yes, talk. Okay. Any other questions? We could do like 1 or 2 more questions, and then we'll play probably a couple other games I can teach you guys, and then we'll be done. So, any other questions?
How do the kids? How do you think the kids?
How do I think the kids?
Are they smart or?
Oh, like what do I think of the kids? Almost all the kids I've ever met, I would say, are very smart. Most of them. Some of them, let's be honest, some of them not so much. Some of them aren't very smart. But that doesn't mean they can't learn. Every child is capable of learning, no matter how smart they are or how not smart they are. It doesn't matter really how smart somebody is as to whether they can learn something. What matters more for the kids is, can we teach? Can we reach them where they are? If they're not so smart and they need a little bit of extra help, that's okay. That's our job. We're teachers. We're not expecting these kids who are 4, 5, and 6 years old to know everything anyway. No, we shouldn't expect them to even know English. If they do know some English, great. Makes your job easier. But don't walk up to these kids and expect them to know what you're going to teach them already. They're coming to you for a reason. They're coming to you to learn. So, if they're not so smart, which is okay, you can go up to them and help them. Do extra with them. Maybe extra classes or extra time during the class. That's a lot of times. That's where I, as a foreign teacher, rely on you guys. A lot. Not just for helping to tell the kids what I'm saying or helping to play the games, but with the learning, which is the more important part of this anyway. I need your guys' help to know where these kids are. Do these kids understand? Do they understand when I say that that's what I want them to say, that's what I'm trying to teach them? Or do they think I'm saying I need them to understand. So if there's a child that's maybe not so smart, or maybe is a little naughty, maybe, who's not listening and kind of like this the whole time, every class has it. I need your guys' help, especially with those kids. I need your help to figure out which kids are like that and to go to them. You guys go to them more than I will, because I may not know. I may not see it, because as the teacher, I'm focusing on everybody. I'm trying to move the class along. I'm trying to make sure everybody has a chance to learn. So I might miss somebody who doesn't understand. Or I might miss a child that maybe isn't quite as smart as some of the other kids yet, who is getting far behind while everyone else is doing great. I need your help to get the kid that's far behind and bring them up. Bring them up to where the other kids are. So if that means you spend extra time with that child during class, helping them to understand that A is not then that's what you do. So like one of my assistants, Mickey, she's really good with this. When I'm teaching the overall class, she always is noticing which kids are not quite understanding it. Even the smart kids don't always understand everything I'm saying. So she's always watching and she sees, oh, Jack doesn't understand. So she's going to go to Jack while I'm teaching the whole class still. She'll go to Jack quietly and maybe go to the side or maybe go in front of him and be like, hey Jack, it's not It's A, and she's saying it quietly to him. So it's not interrupting what I'm doing, but Jack is being brought up to where everybody else is. Jack is not being left behind. Jack is getting smarter because you're helping him. And a lot of times Mickey will talk in Chinese to the kids. Doesn't bother me. Does not bother me at all because she's trying to help him to understand in a way he understands what I'm trying to say first, and then she'll say, now say it in English. I'm always having my assistants, especially if it's a new thing, explain to the kids in Chinese first many times what this is. And then we do it in English. I know not all foreign teachers do that, but that's what I do because I want all the kids to have the chance to show they're smart and to show they understand what's going on. So most of my kids, I would say, are very smart and they're able to learn like this. As fast as I say it, they know it. But there's other kids, I say it and not quite. Or maybe. And that's okay. Every kid's different. Every kid learns at a different speed. Some of them, as soon as you say it, they'll remember it forever. Other kids, you're going to have to tell them 100 times. 100 times. 1,000 times. And they still might not remember it. That's okay. You still did your job. You're still working with them. You don't give up on them. You keep trying, even if you're frustrated, like, why don't you understand? It's okay. They're 4, 5, and 6 years old. Yeah, I wouldn't understand everything at 4, 5, and 6. Don't expect them to understand everything at 4, 5, and 6. Help them with what they do understand to remember it longer, and what they don't understand, try and raise them up. And that's your guys' job especially, more than my job even, because you can speak to them in Chinese. You can help them understand in a way I cannot, because you are from the culture, you are from the language, I'm not. So that's where your guys' job is very, very important, because it's something I can't do very well. Not yet. Maybe one day, but not yet. Okay, one more question, then let's play. If there are any more questions. One more. Yes.
Do we need to translate every word you said?
No. I used to think, yes. Like when I first came, I thought, yes, I want the teacher to say every single thing I say. But after a while, it was taking too long, and I started learning better ways of saying something. Or I start trusting the assistant or the other teachers who are with me to say it better. Like I might say this, but you might know in Chinese you can say it like this. So go ahead, it's okay. There's only some times where I tell my assistants, I want you to say word for word what I say. I want you to translate everything I say. That's usually when it's something very, very important. Like if the kids are fighting, if I have kids who are beating each other up, and I want the kids to understand, especially those kids who are fighting, that this is not right, this is not good, I will kick you out of my class if you keep doing this. I will tell my assistant, tell them exactly what I'm saying. Because I want them to know this is serious. This is important. But most of the time, no. I trust my assistants now. At first, when you first are working for me, I might ask you to say everything I say, like to translate it word for word, just so I know that you're doing it. Just so I know that you are translating what I'm saying. I know from some friends of mine who work at other schools that sometimes the assistants they have, they will tell them, I want you to say this, and the assistant will say this instead. They won't say what the teacher wanted. And so what I do when the assistant first comes is I want to make sure that for whatever reason they're not doing this. I don't want them to say what I don't want them to say. I want them to say what I want them to say. So, like if I'm telling a kid, you're being naughty, stop. I don't want the assistant to walk up to them and say, you're being okay, you're great, you're good, you're wonderful. I don't want them to do that. I want them to walk up and tell the kid that you're being naughty, stop. So, when you first come, I might have you say a lot of what I say word for word. But as I get to trust you more, and as you trust me more, after a while, I'll know what you're telling the children is right. I'll trust that what you're telling the children is right. And I'll hope that's what you're really doing. I will hope. Okay, so let's go ahead, because I know you guys have been sitting for a long time. Let's go ahead and play just a couple more games, and then we'll be good. So, wait, but sit in your chairs first. I'm going to show you another thing that I do with the kids. So sit down in your chairs. Go ahead and set your stuff down, though. Go ahead and set your paper and your bags and everything. Go ahead and set that down. Yeah, set your stuff down. Set your books down. Yeah, we've done Marco Polo already, but this is a different thing. I do this sometimes when I first come into the class, and all the kids look like this, like they want to fall asleep. I'll walk up and I'll say, stand up, sit down, stand up. You guys are gonna have to be faster than that. Sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, stand up. Sit down. And stand up. Sit down. Okay, we're gonna play a game called Lum Sum Sum. It actually requires you. You may have already played it before, but I like to play it. Let's see. Oh, it's okay. I can do it in this chair. Okay. Some may have played it already. Some may not have. Like Kevin said when he was first introducing me, though, I like to do things a little wild. So my form of Lum Sum Sum is usually faster and crazier than probably what Lyndon has done or anyone else has done for you guys before, okay? So don't be surprised if you're very tired at the end of this. Okay, so remember, this is Lum Sum Sum, and this is Guli Guli Guli. Okay? So the first time, we're going to do it to ourselves. Lum Sum Sum and Guli Guli Guli. So follow what I do. And this is not in English. If you're trying to figure out what it means nothing. It's a blah 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 word. It means nothing. Yeah, Lum Sum Sum means nothing. Okay, so, hands up, hands down. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Ready? Go! Lum Sum Sum, Lum Sum Sum. Guli 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 Guli, Lum Sum Sum. Ayo, ayo. Guli 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 Guli, Lum Sum Sum. Some of you guys aren't keeping up. Okay, we're gonna do it again. Gotta keep up, gotta keep up. Remember, Lum Sum Sum, Guli Guli Guli, Lum Sum Sum, Guli Guli Guli. Okay, ready, ready, ready. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands down, hands up, hands down. Ready? Go! better. Okay, now we're going to do lam sam sam this way. This way, this way, this way. So lam sam sam this way. So make sure you're close enough to each other where you can be doing it. Okay. So lam sam sam will be this way, and guli 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 will be to ourselves. Okay. Yeah, to myself. So lam sam sam, guli guli guli, lam sam sam, guli guli guli. Okay. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Ready? Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands over! Hands over! Hands over! Ready? Frank! Hands over! No, hands over! 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 Even if there's no one there, hands over. Ready? Go! Lock, lock, lock! Lock, lock, lock! Goody, 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 goody! Lock, lock, lock! Okay, let's try that same one, but a little faster. Let's go a little faster, okay? So faster, you guys, faster, faster. Ready, ready? Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Hands up. My kids love this because the kids, they're always like, whoa. Yeah, that's what they do. They're just like, ah! They love that part. The kids love it. It means nothing. We haven't even started playing yet, but they're like, ah! So don't be afraid to be like that. So here we go. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Ready? Go! Stop, 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 stop. Go, 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 stop, stop, stop. Hey, no, hey, yeah. Go, 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 stop, stop, stop. Nice. Okay, now. Lam sam sam. Guli guli guli. Yeah, this is guli guli. Lam sam sam. Guli guli guli. Okay? So remember, lam sam sam this way. Guli 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 this way. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Ready? Hands up. Hands over. Hands over. Hands over. Hands over. And hands up. Hands over. Hands over. Hands over. Ready? Go! Stop, stop, stop! Stop, stop, stop! Goody, 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 stop, stop, stop! Hey, yeah! Hey, yeah! Goody, 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 stop, stop, stop! Okay, now, one more time. One more time, as fast as we can. The fastest speed. So you have to follow how fast I go. Okay? Okay, let's see if you guys can keep up. Alrighty. Okay, here we go, here we go. Ready? Hands up! Hands up! Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up! Hands up! Hands over, hands over! Ready? Go! Left and top! Left and top! Left and top! Hey, up! Hey, up! Left and top! Pretty fast, huh? I always like to do that at the very end because the kids, they get tired in a good way though, because they wake up, they're not all like that, but they'll be sitting there and be like, oh, Layla, 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 but they're awake, they're having fun now, so I can walk up to them and be like, oh, sit up, sit up, sit up, and they'll be like, oh, 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 and then we'll start to learn after that. So I've gotten the extra out of them, I've woke them up, and they're ready to learn. So it's a fun game. I'm sure some of you guys are a little bit tired now, right?
Yeah.
No? No?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, what other one can I do? Okay, I have one more game then. One more game, we'll see if this makes you tired. Okay, everyone, stand up. Okay, simple game, one of the simplest games in the world. It's called Follow the Leader. You're gonna follow me anywhere I go in this room, and you're going to do exactly what I do. No matter what I do, you do it. So if it's silly, you do it silly. If it's serious, you do it serious. If you're walking around like this the whole time, that's what you do. Okay?
Yeah.
So, let's see, you guys in the back, go ahead and follow behind her. Follow behind her over here. And then, that's okay, that's okay. I was actually going to leave it in another. But anyway, you're just gonna follow behind me in the line, and whatever I do, okay? So we can start like this. So the line's kind of gonna be curvy right now. So remember, whatever I do, wherever I go, that's what you do. If I say anything, you are going to say it. So if I'm like, you guys are like, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so ready, go! Now jump! Jump, Frank, jump, Frank, jump, Frank, jump, Frank! No, you're hopping, Frank, that's not a jump. Now hop. 1 foot, 1 foot. 1 foot. Now switch to the other foot. Now backwards. Backwards, 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 backwards. Now put your foot down. Now walk backwards. Walk. 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 Now down low.
Oh my.
Down low, Frank, down low. Now up high. Now turn. Hands up. And go. Now run and do it. Wave your hands. Run, 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 run. Frank, go, 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 go. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. Now stop. Now do this. Now do this. Now do this. Now up. Like this. Like this. Now in the middle. Now out here. Now go like this. Now together. And we're done. Nice job, you guys. Very good, very good. That is the end of my thing with you guys today. Those are just a few games. Easy, easy games. You can use them anytime you want during the class. And it'll get the kids focused, help them to learn, and we'll get interactive. Nice job, guys.